NFL offseason continues. This week, we got our top 5 quarterback free agents and potential teams where they're going to. If you look at NFL draft, the quarterback class this year, not the greatest. Free agency class, no big names. I mean, they're like, you got decent options, but not, if your team is in need of a quarterback, you might just be waiting next year to get a quarterback. But let's get started. So what we're gonna do is go through each free agents and their potential teams, why, and we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. So first quarterback on the list, we got Sam Darnold. Now his career has not turned out the way he wanted to. Didn't do all that great, bounced around teams here and there. Now he finally found success with the Vikings. Had a great season, and he's probably gonna get a bag this offseason. As far as potential teams, but before that, he did have a great start to the season. Towards the end of the season, he started falling off of it. Didn't play all that well in the playoff game, so we'll see if that hinders his value this offseason. I don't think so, just because of how good he was throughout the regular season. But we'll see what teams willing to offer. So I'm not going to include the cap. I don't know the cap or the implication of the cap for each of these teams. I'm just putting on based on like fit and where I think most these teams will be willing to target this quarterback or not. So the first team I have is the Vikings. I mean, he found success with the Vikings. Why leave? The only problem with that is they have JJ McCarthy just looking over his shoulder. As soon as he starts playing bad, they're going to try to push JJ McCarthy out there onto the field. You don't want that pressure on you. And, the angle will be JJ McCarthy regardless. So, I mean, if you're the Vikings, it's a very tough situation. You got a quarterback, a very young quarterback they drafted this past offseason, who's waiting to play. He had an injury that kept him out the whole season. Now, he's back. It's a risk whether he's going to be good or not. You got a sure thing in Sam Darnold somewhat. I mean, one good season isn't enough. I mean, you got to be consistent at it. So we'll see. But Vikings still an option. But that might not be the case, and we'll get to that why later in the video. But another option I have for Sam Darnold could be the Raiders. I do think the Raiders might make a big move in the draft. And we'll get to that once I make my mock draft. But Raiders could be in contention for Sam Darnold as well. They got pieces in that offense. They do got weapons. They got arguably the number 1 tight end in the AFC. And Brock Bowers, he had an amazing season. The defense could use some work as well. But they do got Christian Wilkins and Matt Crosby. They got pieces to that team. They could add some weapons though. That could be a potential issue for the Raiders. But they're gonna need a quarterback. Either they're gonna address it through the draft or free agency. I do think it will be like either they sign a quarterback or draft a quarterback. I don't think they would do both just because they have McConnell still there, and he's still there for cheap. So he's most likely gonna be the backup. Those are 2 really good options. Another option for Sam Darnold could be the Jets. Bringing him back to the Jets. What a full circle moment that would be for Sam Darnold. It'd be huge. Got drafted by the Jets. Did not work out. Left, bounced around teams. Now he goes back to the Jets. I mean, the Jets just announced. They didn't just announce, but they did say they're not going to keep Aaron Rodgers. He might retire. We'll see what happens, but he could be another free agent. But Sam Darnold, Jets. That make a lot of sense. I mean, it seems like Sam Darnold needs a good system around him. But get the Jets, man, they're kind of a poverty franchise, man. Any quarterback that goes there don't do great. I mean, they got pieces on offense. They got Breece Hall. They got Garrett Wilson. It sounds like Devontae Adams won't be there no more. But so they definitely gonna need another receiving option there. Jets, they got pieces. The defense is still young. It's still there. Kind of young, but they got pieces on that defense, so it makes a lot of sense to bring Sam Darnold, a veteran quarterback there, as long as it's not too pricey, I think, for the Jets. So we'll see. Those are my 3 options for Sam Darnold. Moving on, next quarterback, We got Aaron Rodgers. Jets just said he's not going to be a Jet this season, so he's going to be a free agent. So we'll see what happens. My number one team for Aaron Rodgers, I feel like this would make the most sense for him. It would be the Steelers. They do have to add another receiving threat for that team. For him, they also got to add some protection for him. But Aaron Rodgers, he can still make some good throws. Yeah, he's not as washed as most people think he is. I watched a few of his games, and he's been making some crazy throws. I think it's more like the Jets, the system he had him around. And the Jets just, again, poverty franchise. Whoever steps in New York, in the Jets facilities anyways, it's going to be a downgrade. I mean, it is what it is. But, and go to the Steelers, it could be an option. You know how the Steelers like them washed quarterbacks. So, defense isn't too bad. Offense, who knows who's going to be the running back there. So I feel like that move would make a lot of sense for both sides. Another team, and this is an interesting one. I put down the Titans because honestly, the Titans might not draft a quarterback in the draft this year. I'm leaning that way. I mean, again, not a strong quarterback class. They could wait on quarterback later in the draft, but like it doesn't make much sense. They do got Will Levis. They're adding Aaron Rodgers to compete with Will Levis. I mean, Aaron Rodgers probably get it, or at least having Will Levis sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a year might help. If not, they got another year. They got a stacked quarterback class next year. It makes a lot of sense for the Titans. They do got pieces on that offense. Defense could use some work again, which they can use that draft capital on. The number one pick, or if someone were to trade it up and they got some more picks, they can address defense. I'm just saying that it makes a lot of sense. Watch out for the Titans for this one. I think that'd be a good move on Aaron Rodgers' part. Last team, I had the Giants. Again, the Giants, they're more than likely going to draft a quarterback in this draft. I definitely think they will. But adding a veteran quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, having a quarterback sit behind him for a year, would be ideal. It would be ideal. And it will also improve, or will help with the development of the quarterback whoever they draft. More likely Shedeur, it seems like. But yeah, I gotta get that mock draft out, man. See, connect the dots here. But I think the Giants would be the least likely option. But it's just an idea. They draft the quarterback and they sign a veteran quarterback so the rookie can sit behind, and we'll see how that works. Jameis Winston could be another one for the Giants. But yeah, next quarterback we got Russell Wilson. He's a free agent. I don't think the Steelers are going to bring him back. I think the most likely team for Russell Wilson could be the Giants. I mean, you're going to see repeating teams here. There's only so many teams that need quarterback. But Giants, they could make good sense. It could be a bridge quarterback or a rookie can sit behind Russell Wilson. Yeah, it makes sense. There's rumors for Russell Wilson to New York, so that's the number one team I have right now. And this next team, I did see this morning on ESPN. Someone brought this up. The Colts could be the market for quarterback because Anthony Richardson didn't do all that great last season. Not counting him out for this next upcoming season. Just saying you can add some competition. Just a safe backup option. If he doesn't play well, you got Russell Wilson there. This offense does have pieces. They do have pieces. They just need someone to get quarterback to kind of just bring it all together. But I can see Russell Wilson. They can definitely be an option there. They add a big piece maybe in the draft, like Tyler Warren. That'd be huge for them. But they do got to address the defense, of course. I feel like that move makes a lot of sense. And my third team, I got the Raiders. They, again, could be in the market of a bridge quarterback. But again, I think it's either they sign a quarterback or they draft a quarterback. I don't think they do both, but I could see Russell Wilson to the Raiders for like a 1-year contract. I feel like that makes sense, but I think that's the least likely option here. I've been hearing more things for the Giants and for the Colts. I saw this morning. I thought it was a very good idea, a very interesting idea. And I think it works. All right, for the fourth quarterback, this one is very intriguing. We got Justin Fields. Now, Justin Fields is a very interesting quarterback because the Steelers found success with him at quarterback in the beginning of the season. and they decided to put Russell Wilson as QB1 as soon as he got healthy over Justin Fields. And I think that's telling as to what they thought of him. So, I mean, if you're gonna sign him, you're signing him to either be like a backup who can like with potential to be a high-end starter, not high-end, or as a starter, maybe develop him into what everyone projected him to be. Potentially, Raiders could be another option. Sign him for 1 year, see what he can do. If he's not that great, you draft someone the following year. They don't have to take anyone this year. I mean, yeah, I think that makes sense. It's a good move. And if he doesn't work out, yeah, you still got McConnell, but I don't know how many years. I don't know if they want to play McConnell for another year. So I don't know how I feel about that first option anymore. Second option, the Steelers bring him back, re-sign with the Steelers. But just because they played Russell Wilson over him makes me kind of doubt this idea. This quarterback truly is like, I don't know where he could go. I feel like he'd probably be more of a backup to a good team. Maybe sitting behind an aging vet. I don't know, man. It's a very tricky one to pick. But I did put the Steelers there. Maybe he could resign, and maybe he could be the starter there. They didn't find success with him beginning of the season. Turn to a run team, start running the ball more. I don't know. Third one, I think that, okay. Here we are. Very interesting idea. The Saints. I put the Saints. I feel like this is a great idea because, hear me out. They got Derek Carr. Derek Carr ain't it, of course. You sign Justin Fields, as soon as Derek Carr craps the bed, you put him in there, see what he got. I know they got Spencer Rattler and Heiner, but those two, they ain't it. They ain't it. This guy could potentially be it. Transition more to a running offense. He could be a dynamic player for them. Oh God, they got Kellen Moore now as the head coach, offensive body coach. Maybe they can help him out. Put a good scheme around him. It's a potential option for the Saints. I feel like it would be a great pickup for the Saints. So that's just me being like throwing an idea out there. I don't think it's a very likely idea, but I feel like Saints might be low-key be a good idea. So those are the three teams for Justin Fields. Again, it's a tricky option. Tricky quarterback to predict, but let's see what happens with him. Next quarterback, Daniel Jones. Now, for Daniel Jones, I feel like the most likely option is he resigns with the Vikings. So the Vikings signed him for a 1-year deal before the playoffs started, I believe. And I feel like there was a purpose behind that. And it's just so he can go ahead and learn the playbook and understand the offense they run. So that way next year they can just re-sign him and he can be either a backup quarterback or compete with JJ McCarthy or even start with the season next year. And then maybe if he starts playing bad, you put JJ McCarthy in there. I feel like it's more of what the Vikings were thinking. And it's an ideal situation because Daniel Jones, he is a mobile quarterback. He hasn't played all that well in his career so far. He had some flashes here and there, but he could just be a bridge quarterback for JJ McCarthy more so than Sam Darnold, where he's going to ask for more money. Daniel Jones could be a cheaper option for them. I feel like that's a more likely option for the Vikings. And the one path they should go. Another option for Daniel Jones could be the Colts. Again, same reasons for Russell Wilson. I'm going to say for Daniel Jones. A quarterback that can compete for the starting position with Anthony Richardson. Of course, I think they're going to give it to Anthony Richardson, but Anthony Richardson have durability issues. So another place, I feel like the Colts would make a lot of sense as well. Now, okay, here's another interesting idea. I'll put the Rams on here because it sounds like they're gonna trade Matthew Stafford. This is just if they trade Matthew Stafford, they can go ahead and sign Daniel Jones for cheap. Maybe a bridge quarterback and maybe draft someone the following year, or maybe they draft someone this year in the later rounds. But you got Daniel Jones, he could be a bridge quarterback, or maybe he has a Sam Darnold type season and just revives his career. I don't know. I thought it was an interesting idea. I thought it was a pretty good idea, honestly. I thought it was a great idea, just, pat myself on the back here. But another place I can see him go is potentially Miami. Again, Tua, he has durability issues. I think they'll be in the market for a good, solid backup quarterback. And yeah, I just did the top five. So there's some more quarterbacks out there. I know Jameis Winston's out there looking for a quarterback, even though he should be looking for a career as a reporter. Him in the media was a great idea. Whoever gave him that mic for the Super Bowl week, awesome idea. I like that concept. I think that works out great for him. But Jameis Winston, he could go to Miami as well. Maybe bring him back with the Saints. Nah, I don't think that's a likely option. Maybe to the Colts. Rams. He's a gunslinger. You just gotta deal with the interceptions he throws. But other than that, it's a lot of aging vets out there. There's a lot of backups. So yeah, that concludes the video. We're just gonna do quarterbacks today, and then stay tuned. I'm gonna create some mock drafts, do some more trivia, NFL videos. So keep out more for those contents, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.